Let's have a candid conversation. It's all about me and you. Conversation. Let's have a candid conversation. No topic is taboo.
Let's have a candid conversation. Talk about the issues that you're facing and the dreams that you're chasing. Dr. Rich got the tools to help you make it. We can talk about it. Let's have a candid conversation.
Let's have a candid conversation. It's all about me and you. Let's have a candid conversation. No topic is taboo.
Now, you got condition on your love for me? Or you gonna just let me do what I wanna do?
Yeah, I'm gonna do call a man.
Let's have a candid conversation. No topic taboo. Can I talk to you? Oh. It's all about me and you. Let's have a candid conversation. No topic is taboo.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. Welcome to Candid Conversations with the real Dr. Rich. Dr. Rich will be in the studio in just a few minutes. Thank you guys for joining us. Share, please share. We have a wonderful topic on for today. We have been meditating and looking into some things about relationships and marriage. And we have a lot of single people and that's struggling with finding someone and being in a serious relationship. And if the marriages and if the committed relationships are going bad, why do the single people want to get married or move forward into even being interested in someone when things aren't really working in the relationships of those who say that they are committed to one another? And so Dr. Rich and myself, we've been talking and meditating and looking into some different situations, and we have been ministering and witnessing to couples, throughout the past few weeks, and we're getting a lot of reports that people are divorcing. People who have been married anywhere from 20 to 25 years or from 15 to 25 years. These people are divorcing, and I've been telling people, and I say it all the time, you have to like the person that you are in that relationship with. So Dr. Rich, she's fired up about this topic, and she wanted us to jump onto the Candid Conversation show and to talk to her viewers, those who may be experiencing some of these turbulence in their marriages, or in their relationships, because believe it or not, some people who may be dating, they are intimate. And if they're intimate more than being serious, eventually something will happen or cause these people to not be interested in one another, because, like I know, once you find out a lot about a person and you find out the things that you don't like about the person, you ready to bail out, or you ready to find someone new or someone different who kind of fit what you're trying to do. So we have a lot of couples out here who are in sexless relationships. We have married people who have been married for years, have issues in their marriage. So we're going to see what Dr. Rich has to share with us about that today. And I know how we feel about this conversation, but I want to, hear what she has to say to the Candid Conversation audience. And I most definitely know that she's going to share some information that's going to help equip the people and the saints and those who want, a active, a healthy, a strong, passionate, sexual relationship with their spouse. So, it's just it's just that season. It seemed like everything is just breaking bad in the lives of those who said that they are in love. And just, I'm going to quote this until I can't quote it anymore. If you are in a relationship or a marriage with someone, you most definitely over time have to like this person. If you don't like the person that you're with, it's going to be very, very difficult to move ahead. And then if you like this person, you're going to have to be able to trust this person, because men and women struggle with different things in their body. And so this is not an excuse, because, our bodies are the temple and we have to take care of our bodies. And if our minds aren't right, we're not going to be able to function physically. So we have to have a clear, clean, healthy mindset, no stinky thinking, but have our mind set on the things that help us to become better. And every day, I have to wake up in the mornings, Pastor R, and I have to work on me. I have to work on, what causes me, not to tick right. Or I have to work on me when it comes down to me not being very patient, with my family, or not being very patient with my wife. And see, all of this plays a role in our intimacy, how I speak to her, how I respond to her, in certain situations. So, this is going to be a really, good topic today, because a lot of men, a great conversation, right? A lot of men in our physical health, we kind of gravitate more to shame than being open with our spouse about what's going on in our bodies, or how she's making us feel, or how the belittling or the bad words that she uses when they're into a fight. And so I share it on Facebook. I don't know if people really pay attention to what I'm sharing on Facebook. I share some key points, and I share some points that will most definitely help people if they use them and put them into their lives and they activate them. My ideas and the things that I received through the Holy Spirit from God works in relationships, because for those of you who know me, I have been married 24 years. It will be 25 years next year. So I'm not going to say everybody go through the same things in marriage, because marriage is an occupation. For those who can handle it, who can handle that, they should handle that. And man, it is so much. It is so much, to tally up when it comes down to being single, when it comes down to being married, when it comes down to meeting someone that you think you want to spend the rest of your life with. But you got to think about the long haul, if this the person you're thinking about spending your life with, because you have to think about over the years, especially when you're young and as you age and as your body change. And, if you're not using the right diet, a lot of things are going to go on in your body, and that's going to cause what? That's going to cause psychological issues. That's going to cause you to operate in fear or faith. And when you're operating in fear in a relationship as you get older, well, I'm not loving my wife right, or my body's not working right. Did I, make love to her right? Or what did I do wrong? Or am I pleasing my wife based on how the condition of my body is? Man, it's so much, and that will cause anxiety and all kinds of stuff in that person's mind and spirit. And so relationships are tough. I know a lot of people feel that they are alone, and they feel that they're missing out on something, and they want to, be with this man or that woman. But you really have to fix yourself. You have to work on yourself before you bring somebody else into your world. Because if your world isn't quite right, and if that other person's world is not quite right, and y'all come together, guess what? It's not going to last, and it's going to be a total explosion, And so we have to we have to think about that. Sexless relationships, sexless marriages, and we're gonna see what Dr. Rich has to say about that. I don't want to step too far out there and sharing, some of the points and some of the questions that I want to ask her about, especially when it comes down to us men, especially when it comes down to us men, and that's not all the relationship consists of, but it's a very big part of it, and it controls a lot of how a person's mind operates and how each person within the relationship see each other. It's the least time you would spend with one in your marriage, but it's the most damaging, or the most effective thing in your relationship. You spend very, very little time in it, but it does cause some kind of psychological and social or issues between partners. So it's hard for me to say if you hadn't been in a long-term relationship like I have, and some people are in and out of relationships and they're never ever stable. Some people are in 5 relationships a year, sometimes 3, sometimes 10, because they're still trying to figure it out. And so I'm going to help you today on figuring that thing out. Figure yourself out. Fix you. Work on you before you invite this person into your life. And because once you invite this person into your life, if y'all get married, now you invite this man or this woman into your children's lives, your grandchildren's lives. And if you're not old enough to have children or grandchildren, you're inviting this man into the life of your parents, your siblings, and all of that. And then if he's not pleased and happy and satisfied with what he's experiencing in that relationship based on what he see with your family, that's going to cause more problems. So, a sexless marriage, sexless relationship, what causes this? And we're going to talk about that today. I know a few things that causes it. I know when a man works too much and he's spending more time into work and other things, that can cause him, not to, perform, adequately, for his, making his partner his friend. And like I said, it's a part of life with the person you spend very little time doing, but it's the most heaviest. It carries the most weight. Yeah, it carries the most weight when it comes down to operating psychologically. So we have to really understand how it works and how we understand it, and how we understand how it works is you talk to people like me. You talk to people who what we call pros or experience or seniors in the game or elders in the game of marriage, because you talk to a person who can't hold the man down, she can't tell you nothing. If you find a guy that can't hold a woman down, can't merge his minds with her mind and his body with her body, they become one in all things, in the natural and in the spirit, they can't tell you nothing. You got to be able to merge and put yourself into a situation where no matter the circumstances, no matter the trouble, you're there. You're going to stick and stay. You're there for the long haul, regardless of what's going on. So we just have to understand and avail ourselves, open our minds up to receive, and open our hearts up to receive as well. But your mind has to understand the truth, and your heart has to believe the truth. And if this man don't love himself, and if he don't treat himself right, he's not going to love you right. So a man shouldn't invest, if he chooses you to be with him, he shouldn't invest more into himself off the top before he invests in you. He should be interested and willing to invest in you. And when a woman notices that, he's most definitely, or they are most definitely going to have a sexless marriage, because a woman really want a man to make her the top priority. That's just what I believe. I can be wrong, but that's what I believe, that a woman wants to be top priority in a man's life. and I think that's part of what causes a sexless marriage. We got Dr. C in the house.
Dr. Rich.
Dr. Rich in the house. You guys go ahead on and share the live. We are on YouTube and we are on fire.
Yes.
I've said what I had to say.
Well, I have something to say. So, I'm not ready to come just really closely because I'm still having some issues with my own background and everything. So, but anyway, welcome and hello. Candid Conversations Reloaded with the real Dr. Rich. So listen, Pastor, I just caught very little of what you were saying, but I did tell you about 2:00 this morning. I was like, I want to do Candid Conversations, but with a different lens. I want to speak on these sexless marriages. And you were like, sugar, everyone's not married who's having sex. You said, I get it. This is what you do. This is who you are. But everyone who's having sex is not in covenant. So the thing with me, though, is, as I coach and not only coach, but mentor women, and we also counsel couples. I've been hearing a lot of couples, not a lot, but I mean, too many for my liking, too many for my taste. The women are discussing the troubles that they're having in the bedroom with their spouses.
Right.
And it's not necessarily because I heard you discussing work, but some of the women have shared with me that it's also, some of it's health related. Some of it is,
I believe that.
They have health issues, maybe diabetes and, other things of that nature. They've been having some issues, along those lines. But it also has to do with not only that. Oh, my goodness, Leah, I know what I need. Baby girl, I need you to get. Oh, it's going to probably, please try not, if you're going to make noise, then don't worry about it. I want my backdrop because I'm going to have my backdrop for what I'm doing. I don't like my.
You can't use the backdrop.
I'm talking about over here on my side. I can't do it over here on my side, because I'm going to be sharing my stuff. If you say no.
Go ahead and share. That's fine like that, but just turn it a little bit this way where you get the white out. But the green is okay.
I didn't really want the green, but okay. I'll figure it out for next time because you're having a problem with it, with me wanting my backdrop. But the women are also saying that it's health related. And they're also saying things about masturbation, that, their husbands are into pornography. And there's been a lot of research surrounding men and this overwhelming sensation or this pull, this gravitation towards pornography, and how they can't live up to these expectations and they don't know how to compete. I don't even really think competition is ideal in marriage, but those are the words that they're using, that they don't even know how to compete with their spouses where it relates to intimacy and the addictions that they have. And so that's where we are. And so some of these women are highly frustrated. They're frustrated in the bedroom. They're saying that I know a couple of the women in the support group were saying that before they actually married, there weren't any issues intimately. Right. With their intimacy. But once they were married, seems like something changed. Right. And so I was like, well, is it the children? Did you start? They were like, no, the kids, we already, had the children, and, we're a blended family. And some of them were, they're not blended families, but they already had, begun their families. Right. And so they're not believing that it has to do necessarily with children. So I was just trying to, pray about it, trying to read and research and come up with some definite answers as to why this is happening. Because it's definitely an issue. It's an issue.
Well, it's an issue, I think, Dr. Rich, too, because
Next time I have to have my
because of how because of health. A lot of men kind of take care of themselves poorly as they get older, and a lot of men, I think, really are doggish in their youth when they're able to become intimate. It's just that they just have intimacy with multiple women randomly as they choose because it's being available to them. They have that availability, and so a lot of men
and they also have options. The men have options. Opportunity. Right. Let me say that the opportunity presents itself, and I think the word the youth are using, smashing. I can smash this one. I can smash that one, and so every opportunity that's given. Well, Leah's laughing, but this is the lingo that not only the youth are using, but this is the lingo that people who are being intimate and in situationships are using. But I'm really here with Candid Conversations today, trying to navigate these waters, because women are saying that they're, I'm like, the assistance that I offer is not for everyone, because like you said, I am more so for, I believe that I have been called to help women who are in covenant, not necessarily women who are wanting to just, freely have intimacy with whomever they choose. Now that is their right, but I'm saying as a personal coach, because it's just like this, Pastor R, there are coaches who, or we can say not just coaches, but there are individuals who tutor specifically in the areas of math, any types of math. Then you have those who are ELA instructors and tutors. Then you have those who are art or violin or musically inclined to tutor. What I'm saying is you have to know what you need and find that individual who can offer you what you need, because although I believe that you are entitled to do as you please if you're an adult, because if you're a child watching this, I'm not talking to you. Right. I'm talking to adults. But if this is what you want to do, then I may not be the coach for you or the counselor for you. But what I will say is that is my lane, counseling couples who are married or who are looking to be married. But more importantly, those who are already married. Right. And but this is what I wanted to say before I hand it back over to you. Because sex may not be a big issue for every married couple or for every woman. It may not be, but if it's a big deal to you, if intimacy, meaning sexual intimacy, is a big deal for you, what's your deal breaker? We said for better or for worse, for richer or for poorer. That's what we said. And so some of these women are seeking intimacy somewhere else. Yeah. They have their, work husbands. You know what I mean? They have these guys.
Yeah, I understand it. I see it all the time.
Yeah, who they are attached to, who feed them what their spouses can't. And I'm talking about women right now. When we were doing the marriage retreat a few months ago, there were no less than 5 couples who were either separated or divorced or divorcing. Right. And many of them were women. And I'm not going to say that sex is the whole issue, but if sex is a big deal.
I think mistreatment has something to do with it, Dr. Rich, because when a man is ashamed or if he don't feel comfortable about himself, he's going to respond a certain way, especially when a woman is not, fully satisfied or the desires are not being met, and he will, mistreat her in small ways. And women just don't like to be mistreated. Men don't either. But instead of being ashamed, we should be able to sit down and talk to our spouses and see how they can help us get help to become better in that area. Yeah.
I agree with that. But let me say this. Intimacy is important to me. I see how you're looking. Intimacy is important. It's not the most important, but it's important to me. So let me just put this out here, because I don't like telling my business to a broad audience. I really don't. I get paid for what I do, and I have a lot invested in the game. Right. And I don't mean that literally, because marriage is not a game to me. You know, a situationship is a game, you know, where people play mind games and, you know, use sex as a controlling mechanism, you know, and I'm not just talking about women.
In that way.
Yeah, and I'm not just talking about women. Men do it too. Men do it too, to control and to manipulate one another, you know, and so, but intimacy is important to me, Pastor R. It's not the most important, but it's important. And I want to say this. Let me put this out here. If we were having intimacy issues, I would definitely push towards, of course, prayer is gonna be the priority for me. But I'm gonna definitely seek some type of counseling and resolve, because I don't want to be out here seeking attention and intimacy from someone else. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Right. I would talk to you, and if it's important to me, it should be important to you. Right. Intimacy may not be important to you, but if I'm your spouse, and I am, what's important to me should be somewhere on the radar as important to you. Right. You know, so but I'm telling you, I'm feeling a certain way for these women who are saying that they have no sex in their marriages. Or, you know, it's going to be tough for me to say, or in their relationships. Although you push me, you keep telling me, sugar, everybody is not married. So I got to watch what I say. You want me to talk about sex in relationships. And you know that's a challenge for me, because that's just not what I do. But I do get it that people who are unmarried are in long-term situationships or relationships. Right. But I'm telling you, if it's the health issues, if your spouse or your significant other has diabetes, or, you know, any other type, diabetes is what's coming to me first, but any other type of health issue, there are lots of health issues. You know what I mean? High blood pressure. Stress. You said stress. I'm saying high blood pressure.
And people, a lot of people look for these type of opportunities to go out and have an excuse to go out and do things that they want to do,
that they already want to do
when they're unlawful. And I just don't have time for the games, because people can get help if they want help. People in relationships don't have to mistreat one another because they have issues. And then, like I said earlier, that is
that's diabetes right there.
Like I said, that's a part of your marriage or union you're going to spend less time in. You spend more time in life trying to navigate through life with mortgages and the children, trying to get them equipped for college, and, you know, your work, his work, trying to expand the aristocracy. But, you know, it's just too many excuses for grown folks, because this is grown folk business. You know what I'm saying?
Right, this is not for the children.
Even for single women,
under 21.
It's grown folk.
Yeah, single women.
You know, when you get approached by a single guy, you automatically know what he wants. If he's not coming with offers, you already know what he wants.
But can I add this?
Woman up and tell his mind, this grown folk business. He asks you what you mean. Ask him, is he ready to pay some bills?
Some women are okay with we can't see him, sis. Oh, I know, it's designed that way. You may have to go to YouTube and watch it. I know it's the way we've set up. I wasn't planning on setting up my phone because
I'll put a link in your box right there. But
yeah, we're gonna add one. I know he is good to look at too. Thank you, Lolita. Thank you, Lolita. I forget what her.
It is grown folk business.
She's a coach. She's the put your information in the box, Lolita. Someone may need your information as well. You do coaching on, I like to give my sisters props, you know, and give them, you know, the grief, live beyond it. She's a grief coach. That's what it is. So Lolita's a grief coach. But let me say this. Some women, they're not looking for long-term commitment, Pastor R, from what I'm hearing. Some of them just want to, and these are Christian women as well. They don't want to be in a situationship or even a marriage.
So they just want to be sexually involved with men.
They want to be men. Yes, they want their needs met. They want their needs met.
So they don't understand what their birth canal is for.
Well, it's not just for birthing babies, Pastor R.
It's not for.
It's not. Wait a minute.
Fun sex either.
Yeah, it is. You have fun. You have fun.
Fun sex
but you have fun though.
No, I'm gonna leave.
You don't have fun.
I asked you a question I asked you yesterday.
You don't have fun. So what you're telling me is you don't have fun. You're okay. So right now,
all I'm saying
no.
See,
this is how we are. Listen, you all are going to get our vibe in a minute. This is really who we are. Let me say this to you. Well, let me put this out here because, like I said, I don't like putting my business in out here without, I have to. This is one way this is one stream of way I earn income is by counseling, coaching, and mentoring. But I will say this. I will not be having any more children. So since this is for the birth canal and this is for me having babies, are you going to end intimacy? Because I'm not giving you any more children. So let me hear what you have to say. Since it's not about fun. Because I have fun.
It's just like it's no.
What now? Watch yourself now.
There's no whole lot of intimacy.
Danger. Watch yourself. Don't stop that. You're going to let me play mystical in a minute. Danger. You saying too much. Danger. I'm looking at the smile on you. Don't play with me, Pastor R. Do not play with me. You and I are not intimate to procreate because at this point, I'm not having any more children. Leah is my last one, and thank God. I don't think I could. Ooh, child. But anyway.
Tell them I'm going to put my name. I'm going to put my name in the.
Pastor R is full of crap.
I'm going to put the.
Today he's on some ish.
So they see the link, they can hit it, and they can also comment when they come in.
On YouTube. Yes, please do that. If you prefer to watch right here, I'm sorry you don't get to see his handsome face. But let's get back to the topic at hand because the candid conversation needs to be had. And the main one is another one. A woman was telling me, she shared with me that her husband lusts after other women. He puts pressure on her about her body since giving birth to, I think she's had 2 children for him. And she says she feels that he's no longer attracted to her. So that may be a problem. But can I bring up else that may be a huge problem? But can I bring up a problem? Come back to that because I want to put 2 on the table for you. As well as you all. I want you, look how they're looking. But they're saying also that erectile dysfunction, ED.
A lot of
is an issue.
A lot of men are ashamed of that. They don't talk about it. But
would you talk about it if you had that problem?
A lot of them struggle with it.
Well, I'm glad you ain't struggling with it.
Tell them come on in.
I'm about to pray and tell them right now.
Come on in. So,
hey, glory.
Tell them come.
Hey, glory. Stop playing, Leah. But yes. Leah Camille is 17 and she knows. We've had the conversation as I did with her older sister. So she knows what's up. I mean, but out here in these streets, I'm telling you, it's unsafe. So, it's good that women desire, some of them, many of them whom I'm in close connection with, desire to be intimate with their husbands. But one other thing, some of them don't like that little blue pill, Pastor R. I know you don't really believe in it, but you say some men have to use those. Some men, you said they have to because of medical reasons and whatnot.
Well, I think they should. If they have physical and psychological issues, because the erectile dysfunction medicine just don't give them a erection, but it also helps them with with anxiety and different types of blood pressure. Anxiety and different types of blood pressure. So if they need the erectile dysfunctional medicine, they should use it. It's nothing to be ashamed of, but some men, they're ashamed of it because they always been the boss. They always been a beast at what they do. But that changes over time because you can't sit there and drink all this bourbon and smoke all these cigars and these cigarettes and do this different things like
to your body, to your
body, and you expect to still be the beast. So tell them that I just posted on the
they know.
Said hit extreme life changes, and we should be on the first line on YouTube in the box.
Okay, well let me say this.
That's not right.
Well, I want to say this.
That's not right.
I want to say this to all of the women who desire their husbands, who desire their significant other. You don't want to be out here roaming around in the streets. Let me tell you something. in my own research, Pastor R and I may not agree on this, but this is just my determination. This is my resolve. If he has a pornography problem and or a masturbation problem, those are huge mountains to overcome. It's not that you can't overcome them. Now I'll talk about the health matters. That's a horse of a different color, because health issues may take some time to get back regulated. That can be done, but when it comes down to the addictions such as pornography and masturbation, that's huge. That's huge, and it's deeper than surface. What do you mean, Dr. Rich? I'm saying that it's not just what you see. There's something deeper going on with your partner, with your mate, with your man, with your husband. And, he may not desire you. There's a spiritual root.
He has to like you.
Oh, wow. You said that.
Yeah.
Because I asked you, did you still like me? Were you still attracted?
He has to like
See, that
you.
tea is extremely sweet, so you don't want the rest of it.
Yeah.
You have to mix it with tea.
No,
with
okay.
lemonade or water.
That's fine like that.
Oh, okay.
He has to
Did you hear what I said?
Yeah.
You told me, you said,
he
Sugar,
like
the
you.
question ain't about me loving you. I'm always gonna love you. You said, but I still like you, and I'm
Right.
still
Love
attracted
is
to
different
you.
than like.
But you told me you were still attracted to me. Let me talk on that for a minute with your handsome self. That made me feel some type of way, because for you to say that I'm still attractive to you and you're still attracted to me, that means everything. And please know, I don't take it for granted that you're still attracted to me. I don't. I mean, I love the text. You met me and you married me. You asked me to marry you 2 weeks after meeting me. Of course, you had to go through some hoops, meeting a few people, asking my dad to marry me, all of this stuff. And within 3 months, we were married. And so that's 24 years ago. I know that won't be everyone's narrative. I understand that. But give me a little leeway. This is what I'm saying. We have to make it our business. Like my husband said, Pastor R said, this is grown folks' business, whether you're married or in a situationship or in a relationship, whatever you're calling it or whatever it is, this is grown folks' business. Young people who are immature can't handle this. What we're talking about, pushing it under the table, sweeping it under the rug, it's taboo. It's a taboo topic. That's why I'm here. I love the taboo topics. I want to talk about ED. I want to talk about sexless marriage. I'm hearing women say that they want it. And matter of fact, I've heard a few say they need it. They need it. This helps them to, what wine does for some women or people, intimacy does it for others. This is what they're telling me. And so I can't even imagine having a relationship with you, having a marriage with you, and we couldn't be intimate. That's a problem. Well, but you're saying it's not for fun, but it's for fun for you because I haven't produced a child for you and said, no, don't try to skate over this. Don't try to smooth over. I want to talk about it because
I'm not trying to smooth over
because we haven't tried to procreate in 17 years. So it's got to be some fun in it. Don't play with me, Pastor R. Pastor R. Don't play with me, Pastor R. Pastor R. Pastor R.
Yeah, I'm trying to say something.
But I want to say this. Don't play with me.
I'm not
in front of these people.
I'm not playing.
You talking about it ain't for fun. It's for fun.
It's not for fun and it's not for games. It's not for fun and it's not for games.
No, it's not for games. It depends on what kind of games. What kind of games you talking about? Marriage games or head games?
Let me tell you what I'm trying to say. Cutting me off.
You know how I cut you off. I do that in
You have a lot of people, male and female, single people. They want to
see your face hands.
I just send them a link. Tell them hit the link.
No, they need to stay on my Facebook page. I like them on my Facebook page. Let me move this and let them see you.
See, I want them to hit the link because they can comment. I want to hear what people are saying. I want them to type in the box what they're trying to say. That's why I want them to come on because they could type.
Oh, they can type in here, and Camille.
I can't read it.
Camille will read. Okay, I'll tell you what. Camille is going to read it for us.
Yeah, let me.
No, she don't have to do it right now. She don't have to do it right now. We can do it later. But this is the thing. I want to get my point. Go ahead and put it back up. We can do it later. This is the thing. A lot of single people, a lot of young people,
Keep it a certain
or
way.
people who are sexually active, they want this pleasure. They want to enjoy intimacy as if they're married, because God did make it for pleasure. He made it to enjoy. He made it to enjoy. But if people are married, and if they're cheating,
this is how I am, you all. I do it like this all the time.
If they're cheating the system, they shouldn't cheat the system. Women enjoy being intimate. They really enjoy being intimate,
especially with a champ.
It shouldn't be
with a champ,
it shouldn't be with
it
shouldn't be with no anybody. But they get this experience. They get this experience once or twice, and they continue to seek it out.
You're being rude on my show, Pastor.
To seek it out in different men, which they shouldn't. They shouldn't seek this experience out in different people.
Men do it. Men do it with pornography. Men do it with masturbation.
There's nobody that married. There's an order to that too, but nobody wants to be an apprentice. Everybody just wants, well, it's my body. I got the right to do what I want to do. But that's not how it's supposed to work. So everybody cheat the system.
Okay, so Nicole Terry says, "Oh, y'all." So I like.
That's your auntie, Leah. You don't remember her? Yeah.
And
that's Scotty's baby.
Miss Latita Harrison has
Auntie L.
Auntie L has a question for you.
Okay.
Okay, you can type your question in.
Okay, so while she's typing that, I'll continue to talk. So here's the thing, Pastor R. Some women, and like I said, I'm talking about women who are in relationships. We haven't even touched the surface of women who are single, who are saying that they're trying to wait on God to send them a spouse. I'm talking about women who are already in relationships, but they say that they feel like they're competing with pornography, with other women that he works with. Oh, that's a huge one.
They're not competing.
That's what they said they feel. I didn't say they were. They said they feel like they are.
Well, they need to.
Like the women, and so even some of them have told me that they're thinking about cosmetic surgery.
Oh, they're not making themselves valuable. It's not having a thing with cosmetic surgery, because they can have cosmetic surgery.
So he can desire them, sweetie.
But he still can. It can still be temporary. He can, if you don't like her, it's just something.
You going back to the liking, okay?
She can make herself look like one of the finest women in the world. But if he don't like her, it does not matter about what she's doing to her body. It has to be more than about the intimacy. Intimacy is something like the icing on the cake, but you got to have all the ingredients to make the cake.
Okay, so she asked, for single women who are trying to wait, how do you deal with natural desires?
Wow.
Good question.
But I don't know if she wants it. I guess it's two ways you can look at it. You can look at it from a spiritual perspective, or you can look at it from the way that God tells you to do it.
That is the spiritual perspective. You mean worldly perspective?
Yeah, the worldly perspective, okay. And you can look at it from a natural perspective.
Wait a minute, natural and spiritual. So from the natural perspective and from the spiritual, right? So spiritual and natural.
So it's two different.
Explain the natural.
The natural don't do nothing but do what they want to do.
Okay, so and the spiritual.
The spiritual kind of do what the word says. You have to be lost in Him. You have to fulfill the things that's in your life, because. So
all that's gonna make your desires disappear?
It's not going to make your desire disappear, but it will level a person out. It will keep them on the path that they need to
level them out.
It will level them out and keep them on the path that they need to be on. Because if they're not on that path, the minds are going to be on that.
I was getting ready to say that. I was getting ready to say
it's going to be on the word.
Right.
You got to feel that space. It's why I say that's why the word says in 2 Corinthians that a wife is a girlfriend, or a girlfriend is not a wife. A wife is not a girlfriend. If you're single, you should be to the things of God, and that way you will always be busy and doing something. I guarantee you, if you do that, all the things that you desire will come together.
Will level out,
because He said, "Seek Him first, the kingdom." Right? You got to pursue that thing. You can't just.
Well, can I add something? This is what I want to add. The piece that I wanted to add was this. I think sometimes. Single women allow themselves to focus a lot more on the natural side. Not that it's going to dissipate. I don't think it's just going to automatically disappear. No, listen to me now. But it's almost similar to how a woman is in a marriage and there is no sex in it. But if she only focuses on that aspect of what she's missing, she's not fulfilling other parts of her life. You know, you understand what I'm saying? Not that you agree, but I've also talked to single women, and some of them say that now if a woman desires, because like you said, this is grown folks' business. If you choose to get out in the streets and find somebody to satisfy your needs, grown folks' business means that you're not immature. You can handle the fallout, because once you become intimate with this person, he's not yours. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's why I know children aren't ready. You have children, boys and girls. Hear what I'm saying? Boys and girls, once they become intimate, they feel like they own somebody. Even adult people like us, we feel like because we've been intimate with you for whatever reason, maybe it was the greatest we've ever had. I think that was John Legend, the best you ever had. You know, whatever is going on, you feel like now you have a role in this person's life, which may not be true. But if you want to take that leap to satisfy your needs, hey, that's between you and God, Yah. Yeah. What do you say? Will you agree with me on that?
True. That's true.
That's between you and Yahweh. That's between you and God. That's your personal business. And it's not for me. I have learned not to impose my spiritual beliefs, because before I met you, you know testimony as well as the people. And people can say, well, how do they know it's true? They don't have to know it's true. They were with me. But I was celibate for 5 years prior to meeting you. Was that my testimony?
Yeah, but I want to add to those natural desires too.
But I want to stay on that for a moment. My point in bringing that up was that was my belief. Those were my spiritual beliefs prior to meeting you, because of my impact, my encounter with Holy Spirit, Ruach HaKodesh. I had a Damascus Road like encounter with him, and I just did not want to continue to be somebody's smash partner or pretend wife, because a girlfriend is not a wife and a wife is not a girlfriend.
Somebody had to desire you too. So I understand what this person is saying and what you're saying too. It's all tied around natural desires. But the individual who may be having those desires, they are responsible for those desires. You want to know why? Because just like Leah's never known a man, so she don't know what those natural desires are. I didn't want to put that out because people are listen to me. She don't know what those natural desires are. So the person,
you know what it's like to be attracted to somebody and like somebody. You mean intimately?
Well, but the person asking me, how can you be single and deal with these natural desires if you know how a penis feel, or if you know like how that. You know your body responds to how your body. I don't want the camera.
Go ahead, talk. I don't want you doing too much over there. Go ahead, answer. You can go ahead and answer.
I'm trying to see, where is the camera low?
She says she has it on her, but I don't want the background.
Yeah.
Just scroll out of it. I'll get back on there.
Yeah.
And bring it to me.
Natural desires is,
I don't want
something.
I don't want this. You got too many books and stuff over.
Natural desires. We open ourselves up. Like if I was an alcoholic, okay, Dr. Rich, and I love alcohol, right? I love alcohol. And then if I'm sitting around, but no one made me drink. No one made me drink alcohol. But I all of a sudden started drinking. And now I'm somewhere off at school or by myself. And all of a sudden I got a desire for some gin. But I opened myself up to that gin because I drank it. But at first, I didn't have those natural desires to drink gin. But I opened myself up to it. So that's all I'm saying. People open themselves up to that stuff. So if a person is having natural desires, they're responsible for that, because you shouldn't have those desires. And so what do? You have to do like you did when you went on to that Damascus Road experience. You became born again. You became anew or fresh, and you made up your mind and said, "This is how I'm going to do it. I'm not just going to be somebody's girlfriend, somebody's baby machine. You know, they're pushing out babies for a man who's not worthy of me or to give me his last name."
Right.
So when we talk about natural desires,
Fickle.
when we talk about natural desires, Dr. Rich, we can't blame anybody for that but ourselves. You know, we could probably blame our parents for not protecting us. See, Leah can't say, "Well, I got a desire to go to the club," and she gets so sick because she can't go. I got a natural desire that I want to hang out with all of my friends, and my friends smoke weed, and we do all kinds of stuff. She don't have that desire because she's never been opened up to that. So once a person opens themselves up to that, that's the consequences of it. We're going to take a quick break here on the Candid Conversation show. Everybody hold tight. We'll be right back, and we have about 10 more minutes, and we will be out of
Let me do this quick station identification. Listen, if you are looking for bath bombs, natural soaps, all of that kind of woman stuff, even men, let me tell you something. Check out the Well Station. She has some nice products for reasonable prices. Elizabeth Dorse Merriweather. Look her up at the Well Station. She has some great products. I purchase these products in bulk many times for my clients, both my coaching clients and my mentees, sometimes even for birthday gifts. But yes, check out the Well Station with Elizabeth Dorse Merriweather. If you see other Well Stations, make sure that the name attached is Elizabeth Dorse Merriweather. This is Candid Conversations with the real Dr. Rich and Pastor R. Shalom. We'll be right back.
Shalom.
Yeah.
Hello, this is Ministry Moments with Pastor Richardson. Hey, I would like to encourage you guys on today to study your word, study the Bible to find out key answers to your life, key answers to situations that you may be going through or experiencing in your life. And it's good to just study to know scripture so you can share with your loved ones, family members, and especially when you're out in the marketplace, living a life before people, walking in holiness and representing Yeshua HaMashiach, because he is our Redeemer. He is our Savior. Did you know that Yeshua means Jesus? Did you know Hamashiach means the anointed one? When you study, you will find power in your words. You will find power in your life. You will truly tap into those gifts, and those areas of your anointing will allow you to flourish and to flow in those gifts. Always remember to study your word, because if you will go to the scripture, 2 Timothy 2:15, it reads this: study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. I pray that this word will bless you. And for those of you who may be interested in joining our Bible study groups, we are meeting every Saturday at 5 p.m. And the address is 3473 Poplar Avenue, Memphis, Tennessee, 38111. Everyone is welcome. We would love to see you. And have a wonderful, wonderful day. Shalom.
Hi, I'm Leah Camille Richardson. Did you know that Jesus, Yeshua, is the light?
I would like to share a scripture with you. John chapter 12, verse 35 through 37 says that then Jesus said unto them, Yet a little while is the light with you. While ye have the light, lest darkness come upon you. For he that walketh in darkness knoweth not whither he goeth. While ye have light, believe in the light, that ye may be the children of light. These things spake Jesus, and departed, and did hide himself from them. But though he had done so many miracles before them, yet they believed not on him. That the saying of Elias the prophet might be fulfilled, which he spake, Lord, who hath believed on our report, and to whom hath the arm of the Lord been revealed?
Let's have a candid conversation. It's all about me and you. Conversation. Let's have a candid conversation. No topic is taboo.
Let's have a candid conversation. Talk about the issues that you're facing and the dreams that you're chasing. Dr. Rich got the truth to help you make it. We can talk about it. Let's have a candid
It's all
conversation.
about let's have a candid conversation. It's all about me and you. Let's have a candid conversation. No topic is taboo.
Now, sorry. You got condition on your love for me? Or you gonna just let me do what I wanna do?
Yeah, I'm gonna do call a man.
Let's have a candid conversation. No topic is taboo. When I talk to you, oh, it's all about me and you. Let's have a candid conversation. No topic is taboo.
Welcome back to Candid Conversations with the real Dr. Rich. So, yeah, before we ended and went to break, took a temporary break, we were discussing sexless marriages and relationships, because you told me that not everyone is in a marriage. And you also said, Pastor R, that it's grown folk business. What we're talking about, these relationships, it's definitely grown folk business. So, but I just really wanted to offer some resolve to women who are experiencing difficulties in their bedrooms. You know what I mean? These are married women, though, Pastor R, for the most part. Listen, if you're joining me on Facebook, please go ahead and click our YouTube link, because I definitely don't want to continue to talk from here on the Facebook page. I'd rather talk from our YouTube and get the subscribers, because we're definitely back. We're going to bring you interesting topics that are relevant, topics that are important, not only if you're a quote unquote Christian, but just in everyday life, you know, and we're going to be as transparent and authentic. And the reason I say as transparent and or authentic is because everything is not for me to put out in public. If you would desire one-on-one coaching, whether it's husband and wife, whether it's man to man or woman to woman, we do that also, because you are the relationship expert. I call you the relationship strategist, the relationship coach. I actually started calling you that years ago, not because you're my spouse, but I just understood how wise you are in the area of relationships. You know, I've even realized that some people are so angry at the way you conduct your own personal relationship that they've called you a female anatomy part. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because okay, let me say it like this. You may not be recalling what I'm saying, but it's almost like how they say you're henpecked or you're sprung. It's none of that. I mean, I wish I could brag and say that.
Well, maybe some of all of it, but it's my business. It's my business, and
So you sprung. I'm teasing.
Whatever they say, it really don't matter, because some of these people who may be saying this probably done had 3 or 4 wives, and they could not entertain one, and that's the mystery of it. That's the mystery. That's the great mystery of it. You have to be able to make that one woman, that special woman, number one in your life. She has to be the top priority. She has to be the center of your world. No matter what goes on, you have to always let that woman that you picked to be your partner through life know and feel that she's number one, no matter what.
Well, and I also want to say this. It's so shocking, and I've had the people who are mature enough and woman enough to approach me. They've asked me about our relationship, and it's genuine. I mean, I remember one woman being so surprised about, when I take trips away from you, I get excited to come back home. Leah was explaining to the person, she was like, this is mom's routine, when she's away from dad a long time, because I have music. There are things that I do that I don't post on social media because it's inappropriate. And furthermore, it's none of people's business. But no, let me finish. But my relationship with you is genuine. It's just like their favorite celebrity. Their favorite celebrities post what they want to. I post what I choose to, but just so you know,
it's not perfect.
It's genuine. That's what I was about to say. Whatever I post, it's genuine. And so people post what they choose to post. Some people post everything about their children, their grades, their looks and all of that. I don't do that. I and I don't have a problem with people who do. That's just not what I do. My children know that they're beautiful. I tell them that. I don't have to post it, and I don't have to post us, but that's one part that I, because there are people who will come for me and will attack my children because of me. So there's a lot of reasons that I don't do things, but people will never be able to figure me out. But nonetheless, this is what Dr. Rich wanted to say. We are relationship counselors. We are coaches. He more so than I. And, if you, just like your favorite celebrities who have their coaches and counselors and mentors, we do this, and we do it in confidentiality. There are agreements that we sign, but we can do it online or we can do it in person. Just know that you're not alone. Back to our discussion, sexless marriages and relationships. I'm about to end this, so go and click the link that I shared on my Facebook page. Go to our YouTube, because that's how we're going to wind it up. We have about less than 5 minutes to share, but I'm going to give you some great notes as we close out. It's the real Dr. Rich and Pastor R. Happy Sabbath. Shalom. Yeah, so Pastor R, but back to what we were discussing, I wanted you to know that these women are definitely experiencing difficulties in their relationships, and they're asking me, how do I do it? And they always,
really?
Yeah. I mean, I don't talk to you about it because you're not a part of our.
How do you do what?
How do I have a relationship with you where it seems like you're genuinely attracted to me? You're still, how do they put it? Oh, I forgot how they said it, but basically keeping you focused on me. And I told them it's not just a one answer. They would have to, one of them is a lady who I'm actually counseling. The other 2 ladies are ladies who just wanted to know that and wanted to see if they could, quote unquote, pick my brain. But, I don't have a one size fits all answer. There are several things that we can do, but there are also things that are out of our control as women. Okay. We can't control how these men, are, relating to us overall. We can do some things, but we can't do everything. Like I can't, if you were a man.
You can set the wheel in motion though.
My point is I can't make you stop watching pornography, even threats and stuff. One woman told me she had been threatening her husband and it hasn't worked. I don't necessarily think threats will help to stop a man from viewing pornography if there's an addiction.
Well, she has to remember the past. Now she have to ask the question, have she ever invited pornography into their bedroom?
Wow.
You see what I'm saying?
Has she ever okayed it or agreed to it?
Sometimes couples watch pornography before or during intimacy. And once you open the door and once you invite that vampire in, or like like the old movies say,
vampire.
like the old movies used to portray the vampire cannot cross the threshold of your door unless you invite him in.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Invite the in, then he has control over you and he has control of your life. Now he can attack you. So you have to think about it, because a lot of them, when they was young, they experienced this type of stuff, but they invited it into their home. And now you want them to stop. There's just like a couple saying, well, let's invite Tony, we can have a threesome, or let's invite, this female, into our bedroom, and all three of them are intimate together. Then he want to continue, or she wants to continue. Now it's not working. And see, you have to be careful. You have to be normal and healthy. You have to make healthy decisions when you are with a person that you're in love. Or, it just don't take all that. It just don't take all that, honestly.
Well, it may not take all that for you in your
I don't think it take that for anybody, because
if you're listen, okay, how about this? This is one, and we're getting ready to go. Thank you for joining us. Please go to our Candid Conversations page on YouTube. Subscribe. We'll be back giving you information. Listen, I had to wind back a little bit and take a little time for myself, because I'm telling you, with these couples divorcing, separating, and all of this, it just took a real big toll on me. And I wanted to do some other things, as well as help our baby girl prepare for college. She has a lot going on. But can I say this? Can I share this? Well, it's Candid Conversation show. It's my show. Of course I can share it. Pastor R, there are women, I forgot to put this one in. There's a woman who says that she feels incomplete in the intimacy area. She says it's boring. Wow. She said her husband is boring. And she said that she wanted to see, you tapped into that third person, that third party coming in. And guess what? It wasn't a man. She said that she just really believed that inviting this, she thought her husband would be excited about it, but in fact, he was not excited. He had a problem with it, but she said she's not satisfied with him. He's actually boring in bed.
Wow. They need to get them some counseling.
That's what I said.
That's the first step. And
people don't like counseling.
That's the first step to wholeness. They need to get, a spiritual counselor or a psychological therapist. Mm-hmm. What they call those people psychologists. Mm-hmm. They need to sit down with someone and share their thoughts and how they feel, because it's a trick of the enemy, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, if they open up that door, it's going to be difficult to close it.
The enemy, that snake is a field animal. He has no business in that Garden of Eden. You have to keep him out, because he belongs out there in the field. Keep him out of your Garden of Eden. So thank you guys for joining us. Meet us back here, same place, same time, with the real Dr. Rich
and Pastor R.
You guys have a wonderful Sabbath. I hope we said something to inspire you and to help your relationships to become better. Shalom.
Shalom.
Let's have a candid conversation. It's all about me and you. Let's have a candid conversation. No topic is taboo.
Let's have a candid conversation. Talk about the issues that you're facing and the dreams that you're chasing. Dr. Rich got the tools